Do you know that in just 3 weeks, a man who felt invisible to the woman he adored turned the tables and made her utterly captivated by him? He didn't rely on flashy gifts, endless texts, or expensive gestures. Instead, he mastered principles that blend the power of dark psychology with the timeless wisdom of Stoicism. These principles aren't just tricks, they're tools to understand and guide emotions, creating deep, authentic connections. Curious? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know the secret techniques that 99% of men miss. Oh, and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to stay ahead with content like this. Chapter 1: The Power of Scarcity. We crave what we can't easily obtain. Think about it. Why do people line up for hours to buy limited edition sneakers or handbags? Scarcity creates value, and when it comes to attraction, the same rule applies. It's human nature to desire what feels exclusive or just out of reach, and mastering this principle can completely change how others perceive you. Most men, however, do the exact opposite. They make themselves too available. They respond to texts instantly, cancel plans to accommodate her schedule, and are always ready when she calls. Does this sound familiar? If so, keep watching because the solution might surprise you. Let me share a client's story. For months, he pursued a woman tirelessly. He showered her with attention, constantly checking in, always ready to drop everything for her. Yet, she ignored him. Why? Because there was no intrigue, no sense of exclusivity. But after applying the principle of scarcity, everything changed. He shifted his focus. Instead of chasing her, he started building a meaningful, valuable life, working on his career, exploring new hobbies, and diving into personal growth. Suddenly, he wasn't always available, and within 3 weeks, the dynamic flipped. She began seeking his attention, texting him first, and asking to meet up. This isn't a coincidence, it's the power of scarcity at work. Here's how you can apply it to your life. 1. Be genuinely busy. Fill your life with meaningful pursuits. Don't just pretend to be unavailable. Be unavailable because you're engaged in something worthwhile. Whether it's advancing in your career, hitting the gym, or learning a new skill, invest in yourself first. When your time becomes valuable, people naturally start valuing it too. 2. Quality over quantity. Plan fewer but more impactful interactions. A memorable date filled with surprises and meaningful moments outweighs 7 ordinary coffee meetups. Think about creating experiences that leave a lasting impression, ones that she'll reflect on long after they're over. Remember, as the great Stoic Marcus Aurelius said, a man's worth isn't measured by the time he gives to others, but by the quality of that time. Your time is your most precious asset. Use it wisely, and others will see its value. If you're finding this insight valuable, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Trust me, this is just the beginning. There's so much more to discover about mastering attraction and self-worth. Chapter 2: Calculated Indifference. This next principle is counterintuitive but incredibly powerful. Calculated indifference. Now, don't misunderstand. This isn't about being cold, rude, or dismissive. It's about mastering emotional stability and showing with quiet confidence that your happiness and self-worth don't hinge on the approval or actions of anyone else. Epicurus once said, "He who is overly attached to his own life will be a slave to the emotions of others." Think about that for a moment. The more we allow ourselves to cling to external validation, the easier it becomes for others to manipulate our emotional state, intentionally or not. Let me share a real-life example. Michael, a client of mine, used to spiral into anxiety every time the woman he liked didn't reply immediately. He would overanalyze her lack of response, questioning what went wrong or how to fix it. The more he cared, the less she did. Why? Because when you're overly invested, you unconsciously send a message that screams desperation. And desperation is kryptonite to attraction. So what's the solution? It's about emotional self-sufficiency. When Michael shifted his focus to his own personal growth, his fitness, his career, his passions, he stopped agonizing over every message. He became indifferent, not in a careless way, but in a calculated, deliberate manner that projected self-respect. And guess what? She started reaching out to him. Here's a practical strategy you can use. The mirror strategy. Match her level of emotional investment. If she sends a one-word text, like "okay," don't overcompensate with a paragraph. Instead, reply just as simply. If she takes her time responding, Don't rush to text back instantly. On the flip side, when she puts in effort, like sending a thoughtful or detailed message, reciprocate with equal energy. Every now and then, throw in an unexpected act of warmth or a playful remark to keep things intriguing. This isn't about playing games. It's about setting a precedent that your life is full, meaningful, and fulfilling, with or without her. It's about showing that you're a high-value individual who doesn't let the whims of another person dictate your emotional world. And let me tell you this, nothing is more magnetic than a man who's in control of his emotions. Now, here's something to think about. What's the longest you've waited to reply to a text? And how did it make the other person react? Share your stories in the comments below. I'd love to hear them. Chapter 3, The Art of Perceived Value. We're now stepping into one of the most fascinating and transformative aspects of attraction, perceived value. This principle isn't about pretending to be someone you're not or putting on a facade. It's about showcasing your authentic worth in a way that captures attention and creates intrigue, subtly, naturally, and powerfully. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The value of a man lies not in what he shows to others, but in what he accomplishes." Let that sink in. True value isn't about flashing achievements in people's faces. It's about quietly embodying them. Yet so many people unknowingly undermine their own worth by being too obvious, too eager to prove themselves. Here's the reality. People don't value what's handed to them on a silver platter. They value what they have to discover. And that's where the art of perceived value comes into play. Let me introduce you to the mystery technique. Instead of announcing your accomplishments, let her uncover them on her own. For example, rather than bragging about a recent promotion, casually let her overhear you on an important business call where your expertise shines through. Instead of talking endlessly about your fitness routine, let her see the results in your consistent discipline, like how you choose a healthy meal when dining out or how you never skip your morning workout. Here's the beauty of this approach. It sparks curiosity. When someone has to piece together your value from what they observe, it becomes more meaningful to them. They become more invested in understanding who you are and what makes you tick. But let's be clear, this isn't about manipulation. It's about authenticity. It's about letting your actions speak louder than your words, showing your value rather than telling it. Actions like supporting a friend in need, staying calm under pressure, or maintaining an unwavering commitment to your goals say far more about you than any boastful story ever could. So take a moment to reflect. How do you currently present your achievements to the world? Are you offering them up too readily, or are you leaving just enough mystery to ignite intrigue? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'm curious to hear how you balance being genuine while keeping an air of mystery. And if you're finding this helpful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more insights that can elevate your life and relationships. Chapter 4, Psychological Dependency. Now let's unlock the secret to creating deep emotional bonds, psychological dependency. Humans form attachments through a rhythmic dance of presence and absence, certainty and uncertainty. Here's how. 1. Create emotional peaks and valleys. When you're present, be fully engaged and attentive. When you're apart, focus on your own goals. 2. Emotional time dilation. When you're together, make time feel like it flies by with engaging activities. When apart, give her mind space to wonder about you. These 7 principles, scarcity, calculated indifference, perceived value, psychological dependency, and more, aren't just tools for attraction. They're lessons in self-mastery, emotional intelligence, and personal growth. Remember, it's not about manipulation, it's about becoming someone worth wanting. As one of my clients said, I stopped trying to make her want me and started focusing on becoming the best version of myself. If you found value in this video, like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Let's build a community of high-value individuals who understand the art of connection and the power of Stoicism. See you in the next video.